What's cracking, guys? It's that anime guy Rido here, and welcome back to another video. And today I've been wanting to do this video for a while now. So if you look behind me over here, we've got Pokemon the movie I Choose You poster. It's a really awesome poster. It was one of the gifts I got when I went to see it. I went to see it. I think it was not last week, the Sunday before last week, and I wanted to do a video. If you follow me on Twitter, you'd know I actually done the video, but then my stupid camera, do you know what it done, guys? Basically, it recorded, not my face, a wall, and that was very annoying. So I decided to do another take of it. So today, guys, we are going to be doing another shot at Pokemon movie I Choose You. I'm going to be doing my thoughts on it and what I liked and what I disliked. So it's a kind of little review thing. So before we start, I just want to show you probably my favourite gift from going. It's my first actual anime cinema thing I've actually seen. An anime in the cinema movie. So I just saw your name on somewhere else. I didn't actually went and see it, unfortunately. But yes. So if you didn't know, I only started anime about 2-3 years ago. So I'm pretty new to it, so I haven't had that many chances to see things which I would have liked to have seen. So yeah, this is one gift I would like to show you. So if I can just, here we go. We've got Ash's Pikachu. I think you might see it the other way round, because obviously how I'm showing it. And on the back, got a nice thing there for Ultra Sun and Moon. I might be getting that this year. So. And I really like it because I've been a really big fan of Pokemon as a kid, and I still am. I started when I was about 7, so I really like Pokemon cards. I do collect them. I don't collect them as much as I do, but I still think they're pretty awesome things to have. And yes, so that was one of the gifts I got for going. I think there's a code on the back, but I didn't really want to take it out because it's pretty special. And they were given out, so we got the poster and the card in when you went to see it as a special gift. Like, I don't know if you know, it's a bit of my Pokemon facts here. When you went to see the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, you got Ancient Mew. I have both. I wasn't there when it released, but I managed to get, during my collecting days, I managed to get both copies of Ancient Mew, which I'm really happy about. But it's in a Pokemon channel, it's an anime channel. So, we're going to be doing the Pokemon the movie 20, I Choose You. So I'm going to give you a bit of facts about this movie. So this movie is based on, the title itself is based on the first ever episode of the anime. It's called Pokemon, it's I Choose You, because it's the start of this anime, the first episode, because that's what it was called. So it's kind of like so the whole movie is based on Ash's journey through Kanto. So yeah, and I thought that it's a really good concept. When I first saw the trailer, I saw Ash and Brock in it. What have they done, guys? I didn't know what had happened. If they not got Brock and Misty in it, they made the original series just like Brock was just real good. He made it a great series, guys, and they got rid of him. So I was like, why would you do that? But it basically goes through the original series, and so we like to see Pikachu disobedient. It's like I thought it was so fun, you know, like the original, like pulling him, Ash getting Pikachu and tying a rope, pulling him, wouldn't put in the Pokeball. And I thought one thing I did, it was a bit of a change from the original. Ash got changed in the lab rather on the street in like the original anime. Bit more realistic, to be honest, and I'm happy with that. And I thought how they done the actual choosing them was a bit interesting. Like, you see the last trainer choosing the Pokemon as he got there, and I thought that was really cool. And yeah, it has some really cool bits, like So, and that was just a start. It's like, and how they animated the lightning bolt from Pikachu when he shocks the Spearow. It was just great. It was really, really cool, and I really liked it. And it's just so, because one word I can really call this movie is nostalgic. This, as a Pokemon anime fan, it was probably my first anime I ever. But it weren't really an anime anymore because Sun and Moon, you know, I don't really call that an anime anymore, to be honest. I know it kind of is, and if you don't agree with me, I just find it a bit too cartoony and kiddie-ish these days. But it was the first kind of Japanese animation I watched as a kid, along with Yu-Gi-Oh! They were the main two I watched. Then after that, I found out about actual anime, and that's how I got into my anime. So a bit of story there, and yeah, it's just so nostalgic. It's like we see Charmander and and we see they had to throw it in there. Bye bye. They had to reanimate the Bye Bye Butterfree episode. You know, the sadness of letting Bye Bye Butterfree. It made it as sad as the last. I felt it could be a bit rushed, but it was only like a 2-hour movie, and they could have put things in there. But I had to laugh. They put Team Rocket in there, and what's really interesting in Team Rocket, they didn't have any interactions with Ash and his new companions. But I found that kinda interesting from the original anime. Like in the first when they have the battle, they, you just saw them. Team Rocket know who they were and were always watching them, but they never actually had a direct looking with them. They basically just saw from a distance. And altogether that but it still had the funniness of Team Rocket. It's like they made so many jokes, and it's like they even had the original poster from the original anime on the wall of the Pokemon Center. It's like, and they had Team Rocket. What I did like how they influenced like Entei, Raikou, and Suicune in it. I thought that was really cool, and how each person saw a different one. I thought that was really cool. It reminded me a bit of the Sinnoh, you know, like Azelf, Mesprit, and Uxie kind of thing in the Sinnoh anime. That kind of reminded me a bit of that, but I was happy with that. So one big turning point in the movie, and the movie is about finding Ho-Oh. So if you remember in the original series, you see Ash sees Ho-Oh flying in the sky and making a rainbow. And in this movie, it's all about him finding Ho-Oh again, and he gets the Rainbow Ring, which I found very nostalgic, because if you played the original games, you get the Rainbow Ring, and that's how you find Ho-Oh in Pokemon Gold and Heart Gold. Pretty good games. I just found the idea was so good. Like, it was a great idea to kind of use the Rainbow Ring and Ho-Oh as a Pokemon, because it was the first legendary Ash actually saw, but in the original series he was never mentioned, which I think they chose a really good part of the first episode and expanded it. So it kind of follows a similar line of the anime. Obviously it looks like they cut bits of Brock and Misty out. But one thing I would have really liked, because they show one gym battle with Ash, and they choose for Celadon, and they choose Eureka's. And one thing I kind of thought they could have made really funny is because there's the cross-dressing bit in that episode, and just what would have been really great just for a laugh if they chose the Brock battle. And there are so many other great gym battles in the series, and they chose Celadon's, and I thought, I don't know. It was only a really short one, but it'd have been really cool if they showed Brock's or Misty's. That would have been really awesome. I would have loved that. But I'm happy with but I think they could have done a little bit more on that in a way. And yeah, so we see the Charmander, and you see how Charmander's flames nearly going out. But what from the story of Charmander's been very, very changed, and I'm kinda still wondering, is it good, is it bad, you know? And I kinda come to say I can kinda accept it. Um, so they find Charmander. Well, Ash finds Charmander, and they go into this rock cave kind of thing, and there's loads of Pokemon there. And a trainer from earlier, who was at a Pokemon Center um, with who found out about Entei, like who wants to be a Pokemon first, healed him, so he didn't go to the Pokemon Center instead. And it kinda, cause I felt in the original series Charmander's condition was so bad, but then this like cured it with kind of simple healing kind of thing, and I thought it was a bit interesting and like a change. But I liked how you saw Entei in the cave with loads of Pokemon, and like you got a chat to see between the other two companions because they're now in it, and I just found, I said I can kind of accept it. But then Charizard's one thing I really did like is Charizard's, they put a lot of emphasis on Charmander's evolution to Charizard's and backstory. So we see the betrayed trainer who has an Incineroar now, and that's interesting because they've brought in a lowland Pokemon, which is a bit. Oh, and I said it's meant to be up to date because a lot of people would have played the game back then, and basically I kind of, and because he wanted so strong Pokemon, and Incineroar in the game is pretty cool, so I chose Incineroar when I got Pokemon Sun. Not a big fan of the game, to be honest, compared to the originals, and he's a pretty cool Pokemon, and they made him strong, and then there was, and they named Cross, and Cross became quite a big part, for Charmander's old trainer, and then, because there's lots of battles, and like, it's the bit when Ash loses against him, and he like forgets Pokemon and goes into this alternate world where he just goes to school, so like in our universe, and it was just a bit interesting. I thought it's a pretty cool idea, and yes, so I thought that was a really cool part of it, and but one thing was because they, like, if you've seen the original series, Charizard is often portrayed as this lazy, doesn't like to follow orders. Same with Charmeleon. Charmeleon didn't do that many orders. He started misbehaving, but in this he attacked fine, and unlike the others, he just followed all orders, which I found a bit different from the original series, because in the original series he's doesn't like doing orders. But then so onto the actual story. So they go on this quest to find the Rainbow Ring, and this old guy tells us about the Rainbow Hero. So if you haven't seen this old guy, I'll try and get a picture of him up for you. I might not be able to, because in my last two videos I haven't been able to edit, so it's a pretty bad video, and I'm just looking for some editing software at the moment. If you've got any cheap, I want free, to be honest, on the phone is perfect for me. And yeah, so that would be really awesome if you could know what it is. So if the video isn't edited, you probably know why, and if it hasn't got the pictures. But yeah, that's so, and this old guy, he really, I have my theories about who he is. Some just say he's an old guy, but I have a theory that he could be someone from the original series. Like, because I don't know if it's just me, but his hat really reminds me of Red's hat in Red from Pokemon Red, you know, and Pokemon like Generations, the series. And he really reminded me of him as an old guy. So, and we don't actually know how long ago their time was between Red and Ash, so we don't actually know that, so it could be, who knows. And he basically tells the story of a rainbow hero. Then they finally, like, the rainbow ring shows to these special rocks, but then Cross, Charmander's old trainer, steals it and puts it on there, and it goes all black because it says, like, if the rainbow ring is touched with pure evil or someone with an evil heart, it'll, like, won't work and call Ho-Ho. And yeah, so then basically, yeah, is Marshadow, this legendary Pokemon who works for Ho-Ho in a way, and basically checks on the Rainbow Hero, and basically they see that he's not very good, and so it decides that all humans are evil. So it basically goes ahead and, like, turns, like, Pokemon against each other, and basically calls them to, like, destroy the humans basically and the trainers. And then there's a really cool bit about because one of the trainer Cross has a Lycanroc, and it goes evil. Here about kind of see a nice bit of Cross in a way, which is really interesting, I found. And yeah, it's like the Ash and Pikachu part. So, well, a big beam goes on here, and yes, so, and it just destroys Ash, and just becomes a spirit, then goes away, and then so Ash dies again, and it's really sad. It's really sad. It is. It's one of the saddest scenes where you see Pikachu crying. It's got such good. But then you get a really cringy scene, which kind of ruined it. It's like when Pikachu speaks, it's like, and used telepathy, I think, is the way. I didn't like that much. I kind of felt, it's like, and they use mostly the same telepathy sound, like Jirachi in the Wishmaker movie. They kind of used the same sort of things, which I don't know what I'm feeling about those, and I didn't know if it was a good call or not, but it's like I can go past, and I didn't really like that part, and then it just gets on the, like, Marshadow goes away, then they call Ho-Ho, it's like, and that's mostly the end. But then, the funny thing, which I thought it was great, the movie all ended, most people left us like, oh, it's usually after the credits, or well, we usually watch the credits, and after that, another 30 minutes of the movie started, so we got, like, Pokemon Generations, where we saw a different Pikachu go through all the different regions, one red court, and basically it was like going, and it squeaked in there saying Pikachu, because I think that's trying to show Pikachu is different from other Pikachus, which I thought was a really good call. It might be wrong, but that's just my kind of thoughts on that. And then after we go to all the regions, then it stops and you think it's all over, but then it goes back to the Pokemon Generations anime, one, I think it's Generations, when it goes, like, Red Story, the Pokemon Red game, where basically, I hadn't seen it's like 4 episodes. It's worth seeing. It's a really good nostalgic series where it basically an animated, like, I think it's like ends up being 2 hours altogether. It's like 4 episodes, and it's just a really good, and it basically cuts as, like, when you see Giovanni, we see it because that's how it ends in, like, the 3rd episode, I think. And also we see, like, Gary beating all the Elite Four, and then getting there, and then it ends with you seeing Red defeating, you see Red coming. It's just really cool to see bits they missed out on the series and added to it. I thought that was a really good thing to do, and so a lot of people in my cinema left, but I was still there, so I'm really glad I didn't leave. So I got to experience something like that. So altogether, I thought it was a very nostalgic, one of my favourite Pokemon movies, and this is the 20th one. I think my others like Mewtwo Strikes Back, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, they're some of my favourites. And it's not because Ash dies every time, because I'm not an Ash hater, but I think it kind of gives you something like sad about it, and it kind of makes it better in a way. And yeah, I just really liked the movie. I thought great Pokemon, great animation, and I liked how they really improved the animation from the original series instead of making it all sun and moonish, which would be awful. So, and they've done that. Made it really cool graphics. I think they've done a really good job on the animation, and it was a pretty cool movie. I really enjoyed it. And so that's my review of this series. So if it's probably not. It might be in cinemas still, depending where you are. It's not in my country, but if you haven't, make sure to get it if it comes out on DVD. That'd be really awesome. I'd make sure I'm going to. Otherwise, you might find it somewhere else. You know. I don't recommend it though. Basically, yeah, you might find it somewhere else, but I'd try and go watch it in your local cinema. It's just a really cool experience to see a Pokemon movie in there, and I really enjoyed it. So that's it for this video. It's time to get off that usual Rito roller coaster. So as always, make sure to demolish that like and subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next trip on the Rito roller coaster next time. See you guys. Rito out.